I don't know how to end, so let's just start.
Close.
How has Timo Pukki missed that as well, Chris? He's literally a yard out.
Vrancic, let's fly! Mario Vrancic making no road at the moment!
something I could never replace. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea. Something I could never replace. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea.
Good afternoon and welcome to another Way Day on NR1 Live. Jack Walker there holding up the Premier League trophy. Classic old stadium at Ewood Park. 4 stands, the wind whistling through, I'm sure, on a cold Saturday afternoon. But that's what it's all about. Rob by my side again as usual. Ewood Park, classic stadium, classic football match, isn't it? 2 founders of the Premier League, Blackburn Rovers and Norwich.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's one of those grounds that you go to and I mean, you look at it and say, well, it's a nice pitch, that's a nice stadium, that one's not as nice stadium, there's big gaps in the corner, similar to Stoke. And like Manchester in December, it's pretty cold, the wind will be blowing. So the conditions will be a test today, but the pitch looks perfect again, doesn't it?
You've not got great memories of Ewood Park, have you, Rob? Just tell us a little jaunt you had up there once.
7-1 defeat. 7-1 defeat, but obviously I scored the goal.
Oh, that's all about, isn't it?
Say no
you
more.
were the only one smiling on the coach on the way home from that one.
Say no more. I think I outpaced a slow centre half. And
no, unless you've got video evidence, mate, I'm not believing you outpaced someone.
What's Jo been doing? Has she not found out?
No, she hasn't found that one.
See, all the good things about me, she doesn't see.
Yeah, how was Gunny on that day? He was playing that game?
Yeah, Gunny, to be fair though, it was a sombre day because that was about the time of his daughter's passing. And sort of like, put everything in perspective. We're laughing about it now and you can do a bit, but sort of like at that time, it was sort of like a real sombre affair because I think actually Gunny never came back on a coach. He had to fly back and whatever. So it was around that time. So there was sort of like a perspective about football in that day. You mean, okay, we got beat 7-1, but hey, listen, something serious is going on outside. But like I say, it was a game where I think Alan Shearer absolutely outmuscled Ian Butterworth. Basically,
well, they had the SES, didn't they? The championship winning year.
Yeah, but I was centre forward then. that day, so I had nothing to do with Alan Shearer. I'm at centre half. But like I say, and apart from that result, I think Norwich is sort of like one of Blackburn's bogey teams. We've got a real good record against Blackburn. So hopefully it's one of those days today where Blackburn think, we're playing Norwich. Norwich are top of the league. It's going to be a real tough game, which it is going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah, and Max Aarons, of course, who's made his 200th appearance for Norwich the other day, and also 100th appearance for Norwich then, is also in the team of the week. Has done fantastic well. And Todd Cantwell, looks like his trousers a little bit short for him. He needs to get some longer ones. He's still growing, isn't he, the boy?
It's the fashion, isn't it? You know, get yours on. Don't show your socks.
Yeah.
No, it's like I say. You look at the team. We spoke about it on Wednesday against Forest. The squad now, that the team that's playing and the squad.
That's the team today. Tetty's in for Stiepermann today. 250th appearance for Alex Tetty. and you'd see Vrancic slip into that number 10 role because of how effective he was the other day.
Yeah, and like I say, the goals that he's created in the last few games, Vrancic needs to be higher up the pitch. When he plays as that alongside Skip as a double number 6, he's sort of like got too much pitch between him. You mean he can't slide those little deft 10-yard passes, which he did against Sheffield Wednesday. So being high up the pitch will be a real positive for Norwich. And when he gets on the ball in and around the opposing penalty area, with Pukki making the runs that we know he can, hopefully it will be really effective today.
Well, we must have a little moment for Alex Tettey as well. 250th appearance today for Norwich City, not his only appearances he made. I mean, that's just keeps going on, isn't it? Is that the modern player? Can they play longer?
I think so. I think so. But you cannot. I mean, we've said so many superlatives about Tettey. He is a manager's dream. I mean, doesn't moan whether he's in the team or out of the team. He's a dream to have in the dressing room. He's real positivity about all his all what he does. Yeah.
What Daniel Farke said about him. But he's one of those players as well. You know, probably a few years ago, Norwich fans were thinking that his time's finished. You know, he's probably looking like he's on his way out of the club. Circumstances changed, he stayed here. And all of a sudden now you can't imagine a Norwich City squad without Alex Tettey in it.
No, absolutely. And like I say, he came in like 2-3 games ago, his first game for however many weeks or months out. But you think he'd never been away, because obviously I think today's footballers, unlike us, jockey at the back in those years, they've got so many sports science, so much computers. They know when they're getting tired. They know when their bodies.
But they also look after themselves probably a bit better than we did in our day, right?
Maybe. They're not looking forward to the Christmas party coming up like we were.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No Christmas parties. No Christmas parties.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, particularly this time of year as well with the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, what happens to the Christmas party, Rob? It's going to be an absolute stinker, isn't it?
Mate, listen, the Christmas parties can happen in July. We need to get over this pandemic at the moment. They shouldn't be thinking about no parties at the moment. They've done a job up to Christmas. They're top of the league. Christmas party should be the last thing on their mind at the moment.
Yeah, and of course, not just Alex Tettey, who's been a stalwart for Norwich. The summer signings they've had with Jakob Sorensen and Skip in particular have been really positive over this period. And probably Sorensen wouldn't have had his opportunity as much as he had now, but Oliver Skipp's had a fantastic effect on this team, hasn't he?
I think Oliver Skipp's been one of those unsung heroes over the last, since the start of the season. He just gets on with his job, but he does such an efficient and effective job as that number 6. He gets it, he passes it. The tempo of his game is really good. He knows when to quicken it up, he knows when to slow it down. I think he's done a real solid job in that number 6 area. And Sorensen, like we said, he's just happy to be in the team at the moment, because he's thinking if Kintia or Sam Byron had been fit, he wouldn't have played those games.
Skip as well. I mean, is he a player actually to add to his game? I'm sure Spurs would like him to add to his game when they take it back. Is probably a few more goals, because he does get forward.
Maybe, but as a number 6, you're not like judged. You're not like a number 8 where you've got to be box to box and going beyond the forwards. As a number 6, I'd like to think he's been part of the effort to keep goals out. He's in that group, basically, rather than the offensive group. So a number 6, I don't think is judged on his goals. A number 6 is probably judged on how well the defence as a unit, and he along with a back 4 and a goalkeeper is part of that defensive unit. And they've done fantastically well, and he's been part of that.
Spoken by a true defensive player there. Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Now we're going to talk to somebody who, I'm sure if he played number 6 or number 8, what he'd describe himself as. I'm not really sure if he played. He tells me, I've actually seen him play once on this Carrow Road turf, and he tried to cross it in from the left-hand side and fell over the ball. That's Rob Butler. Can you join us, Rob? You remember that? See, you do. You remember that, don't you? Yeah, just talk us through it again.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, we were sort of recreating a goal, weren't we? Was that day when we beat Southampton in the Premier League, when we first went up under Nigel Worthington, and we recreated a goal. Your son Taylor was there as well, and I'm not trying to pretend I was a great footballer, Darren. I'm just a fan, you know.
Yeah, no, you really weren't. No, but listen, Blackburn today, Ewood Park, you're at that stadium, Rob. You've been there before. It's a classic old stadium, isn't it? And it feels like a proper, almost like a Premier League match, doesn't it? Blackburn against Norwich, kind of a bit of history to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just heard Rob talk about the 7-1 there. We all remember the season. We had that amazing season in the Premier League. It's funny to think that we got beat 7-1 here at Blackburn that season, but yeah, I mean, we've got some good memories here. We had a team who Pukki last-minute winner in recent years, and I think apart from that 7-1, as Rob quite rightly said, we've got a pretty good record here. You know, it's just a shame there's no fans here. Obviously, we're in a part of the world where there's no fans allowed in football grounds. As it stands at the moment, we're lucky to have had the 2,000 at Carrow Road over the last couple of games, and that was absolutely brilliant. You know, I was in amongst them doing interviews for BBC Radio Norfolk, and it was just fantastic. It felt almost getting back to normal again. But yeah, it's a shame there's no fans here today. But I'm looking forward to it. It's good to be here. It's always a place I enjoy coming, even though it's a long way.
Yeah, and they can score goals, mate, can't they? Robert's done his research, and he put out to me a little earlier. Actually, they're the second top goal scorers, or second top in terms of their goal difference in the Championship. So they're a real threat, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And they have got someone in midfield who we know better than anyone could score goals, and that is good old Bradley Johnson. We know that he's a goal-scoring midfielder. We know that he's the sort of player that can play. They've got Lewis Holtby there as well, who's obviously someone who's really well known. I mean, look at the bench. It's like an old reunion. Danny Ayala, the old centre half Norwich. Stuart Downing's on the bench as well for him. An England international. So I think this Blackburn team have been quite heavily hit by injuries recently. Their star player Bradley Dack is obviously out, and he's a player who's represented England at under 21 level. So when he's back, the people we spoke to up here at Blackburn are really excited about when he gets back, because they think that kind of bad spell they've had will be out of the way, and they'll be back firing and perhaps looking at the playoffs. So, and that's where they should be, really, isn't it? Blackburn Rovers, they've won the Premier League. It's a good club. Let's say that, Darren.
Yeah, it kind of feels right. Now back onto Norwich then, Rob. You see Alex Tettey coming in today for his 250th appearance. What a stalwart he's been for the Norwich side, and what a player he's been over recent years. But I think we almost like talking about him like the 250th is the end. But Daniel Farke has been very, out there and saying this isn't the end for the Alex Tettey. It's just another part of his journey.
Absolutely. I've made it clear over the years doing Radio Norfolk that I loved Alex Tettey. I think he's brilliant. I think Rob Newman hit the nail on the head when he said he's a manager's dream. I think he's other players' dream as well. He's a player's player. He's had a little bit of criticism from fans over the years, perhaps because of his passing and what have you, but he's not there to do the defence-split passes. That's what Mario Vrancic is there for. He's not there to do that. He's there to break up play. His positional sense is amazing. The way he gets in the way of things, and he's just always there. His energy, his fitness is great. He runs for the whole 90 minutes. And he's just a great bloke. He just genuinely is a great bloke. We always say when we interview him on the radio, Tettey Gold. Whenever you speak to Alex Tettey, you get something brilliant out of him. He's been a brilliant player for Norwich City. He's my favourite Norwich player. I'm delighted to see him out here for his 250th, and at the other end, Timu Pukki with his 100th appearance today. I mean, two massively influential players for Norwich City over the years for very different reasons. But, I think it's all about celebrating Alex Tettey today, because he's been a brilliant servant. He's the longest serving player. It was interesting seeing the other night when we played against the Chris Hughton team. He was here when Chris Hughton was here, and that seems a long time ago now. So that just shows you how long good old Alex has been there, and no doubt he'll be fine today, and hopefully he'll be all right playing two games in a few days. Yeah,
and you don't often see that with players nowadays, is players making those appearances for that period of time under so many different managers. Just shows to the kind of character he is. But who have you got with you today, Rob? Can you pan around and show us who you got with you in the stadium today, and actually around the stadium?
I did have Chris Gorham here, but he's gone for a week. So,
that's all right, we'll let him off.
What we have got...
You've got to go, you've got to go.
We've got Mark Rivers.
Mark Rivers is in with the house. How are you, bud? You good? I don't know if he can hear us, but just give us a score prediction. Give us a score prediction,
Score
Mark.
prediction with your hands. Score prediction. Which fingers? Which fingers, he says. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mark Rivers. Absolutely brilliant. So what were you going for today? Would you take a 2-1 today?
I think we'll win. Yeah, I think we'll win. I won't give you a score because I won't embarrass myself, but I think we'll win, mate. And, if they're struggling for a centre-half, hey, don't knock me at the start of this. I heard you knocking me. Decent centre-half I was in today. Ball-playing centre-half. Not very good in the air, though.
Any good? Did you ever get outpaced like Rob Newman did at the back?
I had pace, mate, honestly. You ask anyone who went to Thorpe St Andrews School, I had pace. I was deceptively quick when I was young, when I was about 12.
Yeah, all right. Brilliant, mate. Thanks very much. We'll speak to you at half-time.
Becoming personal.
Cheers, mate.
Well, just, I don't know, they're similar kind of stature. I don't know, you sort of look a little bit alike, and, you kind of play similar, I would say, kind of...
Mate, like I say to everyone, mate, I was a ball-playing centre-half. Why run when you can pass the ball? The ball travels faster than anyone can run. That was my... I'll stop there.
Did you make a career on that?
Absolutely, I had to.
Brilliant. Norwich had a fantastic result the other night against Nottingham Forest as well. We're going to take a look at the highlights now. We're going to talk over these as well again.
Okay.
Some good talking points actually. We talk about how narrow Norwich play. Yeah. Sorensen given the width on the left-hand side and eventually causing a few problems for Nottingham Forest, and Buendia again We talked about this earlier. We just wind that back, and then you wind that back, producer. Emi Buendia, Rob knows exactly what I'm going to say. You watch as Buendia hits this shot. There's no other crowd in the stadium, but as soon as he hits the shot, if you watch his body reaction,
he knows where they are.
He knows where the crowd are. This is a true crowd pleaser for you, everybody. Here we go. Where's the crowd? There they are. Sums Emi Buendia up, doesn't it? But it shows, doesn't it, just how much he has to feed off and play off the crowd.
He does, and like, I mean, you don't take it away from him because this boy has got fantastic technical ability, and if he needs to like showboat in front of the crowd and whatever, like, and perform like he has done over the last few years for Norwich, then so be it. But like I say, he is a true entertainer.
Yeah, and to be fair, Forest, if you'd have come out of that game with a draw, you probably would have thought it was a fair result, wouldn't you? Because Forest were a real threat to Norwich, particularly from that. You know, we're talking about Norwich's left-hand side, but actually Forest's right-hand side, they were dangerous down there. Lolly in particular. Yeah,
absolutely, and that was a worry in the first half, like we see here, the clips and whatever. Like, you've got Sorensen, a non-playing left-back, playing at left-back. You've got Josh Martin, who's probably touched inexperience. I don't know when to go back, I don't know when to drop. So we saw at the times it was 2 against 1 with Sorensen, but even 1 against 1 against the pacey Lolly on the right wing, it was tough.
Just stop here, producer, as well, please, Joe. If you can, just wind that back just very slightly. Just very slightly. This is what we talked about, getting that width, isn't it? If Sorensen's got the ball here, just come back a little bit further, Joe, if you can. A little bit further. Now, if I was Josh Martin here, I'd be doing my nutting. Because he's in a great position out wide from Sorensen. They've broken out this side. He wants it into his feet to be able to run at the defender, doesn't he? Yeah. So for me, I know they eventually get an opportunity from it, but surely for me, the best pass, the obvious pass, is the one straight out to Josh Martin. Yeah,
and this is what we were saying, like, I mean, he never played in this game, Placheta. Placheta needed to be where Josh Martin. You, as a winger, like you're saying, give me the ball, I'm getting my heels.
But it slows everything down, doesn't it? This is what happens now, how long it takes. They do get shot away eventually, but it slowed the whole process down and give Forest the opportunity to get back and defend.
And if Josh Martin gets the ball there and he's got the green grass in front of him with a 1v1 against the right back, you got an opportunity for someone to get to the byline and cross balls behind the compact defence, which Notts Forest were. They were a compact defensive back line and a 5 in front of them.
And Sorensen this week said about how he needs to work on his celebration after scoring his first goal for Norwich City. You know, it's a decent strike. You'd expect the goalkeeper to do better here, though, wouldn't you? Did he expect it to hit one of his defenders?
It's gone through a couple of the defenders' legs, but I mean, I think if you ask the goalkeeper in earnest, I mean, like I say, he would have liked his body to block that shot. But like I say, I think Sorensen was a bit surprised it's gone in, but you're right, he does need to up his celebration game.
Yeah, and Norwich still had a decent amount of chances after it as well. Timo Pukki had a shot just before that, and Vrancic.
It was a tough game, mate. It was a tough game because Forest were well organised, and it was sort of like.
But this is where they scored from the right-hand side. Knockhart obviously coming on.
Yeah, coming in.
It's a cross shot. I was always taught, exactly as Knockhart's done there, I was always taught, if you're in a position to cross the ball, you're aiming for the far post.
If the forward misses it, it goes into the far post side net, and that's exactly what. But it was too easy. It was too easy, and like I say, that was the Achilles heel for Norwich defensively on Wednesday. But fair play to Notts Forest, they sort of like changed their game completely in the second half, going from a real defensive unit to a team that was pressing high up the pitch, and it made for a good watch of a game, really. But like I say, Cantwell comes on. Again, the beauty of having experienced people on the bench. He's come on, he's done really well there. We're saying don't shoot, you don't score. Buendia does that. Okay, it was a bit fortunate. But like I say, you take it. But I think the game, especially in the second half, where it was a good game of football. It was a good game of football. Norwich in the first half totally dominated possession, but it was sort of like a bit even in the second half, and that shows a good side that you kept on going. And Norwich, I think, just about shaded the win in the end.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Simeon Jackson now, who has got a foot in both camps there, and of course is a striker who would totally buy that. If you don't buy a ticket, you ain't going to score, Simeon. And that's the point, is that we've been critical of Norwich sometimes. They don't have enough shots from distance, or they always like to thread those balls through. But we just seen Emi Buendia scoring the winner against Forest. It takes deflections. You can do anything on its way through. And as a striker, you can probably count however many goals you scored that took little nicks off people as they go through.
Oh yeah, you're buzzing. You're buzzing when that happens. I think the amount of times you probably would have throughout the last few seasons, seeing Norwich in those kind of positions outside the box and trying to thread things through and make that extra pass when you just hit it. And, it's good when you do hit it and sometimes it just takes a nick and goes in.
Yeah, and you've got a foot in both camps today, Simeon. Play for both clubs. You know quite a few of the players as well. Just talk us through who you've played with and at various times in your career.
Yeah, so I played under Tony Mowbray when I was at Coventry for a while, and then obviously Jono, Bradley Johnson, and Joe Rothwell as well, and Elliot Bennett, who's injured. But yeah, quite a few of the boys in that Blackburn side were there when I was there, and yeah, it's a great club. Tony Mowbray's gone in there and got them playing, passing and moving, and obviously it was a club while I was there that was kind of thirsty for success and got relegated down to League One, came back up and did that, and now are trying to push on. So I watched them the other night against Middlesbrough, and I'm sorry, not Middlesbrough, against Bristol, and they dominated the game. Were unlucky to get nothing from it really, but they've got some threats up there with Armstrong, who's on fire this season, scoring goals, and they have a different kind of threat with their front three. They possess everything. Got creativity, they got the big man up there in Gallagher, so yeah, it should be a good game.
So will that be able to stop Sorensen and perhaps Max Aarons getting so forward today, because they play that way? They like to play with that sort of almost three staying up front on their own. Is that going to be more difficult for their fullbacks to get forward, Norwich's fullbacks?
Yeah, it should be. It should be if Blackburn are able to implement the game. But yeah, I think you still expect Max to try and bomb on, but he'll definitely have to worry about the front three.
And looking at Norwich so far this season, Simon, we spoke to you early on this season, and they've still continued to progress and are sitting top of the table now. It seems like a championship where there's almost 6, 7, 8, almost down to 10th at the moment where Blackburn sit, still vying for playoff place. I know we're only at Christmas now, but there's still a lot of games to go. But there's not a huge gap between all those teams, is there? It's very tight at the top.
Yeah, and I think that you always have that. You always have in the championship, don't you? And I think that's no different this season. But yeah, you look at the firepower up there. Yeah, you just don't know which way it's going to go. But I think this time of year, you do want to try and get some momentum coming into the Christmas, because things do turn. Injuries and different teams coming into form, out of form. So it's important to make sure you're picking up points around now to bring yourself into that tough window around that time.
And Tony Mowbray in particular, you obviously played under. What's his style of play going to be, particularly at home?
Oh, pass and move, run. I just remember him saying that all the time.
He didn't do that much in his career, to be fair.
No, he didn't. He always just say, he was more of a just head it, and he just played from the fear of just trying to head the ball and clear it and making sure he doesn't concede. But yeah, as a manager and how he wants to play, you'll see. If you've seen Blackburn play this season, they're very creative. I love watching Joe Rothwell play. Even playing with him. When he gets the ball and he drives. He was involved in the goal the other week where he just took it from the halfway line and just drove to the edge of the box. And you're just thinking, when players do that from midfield, it's very hard to deal with. So yeah, they're passing side and try and create chances for their front three. And Armstrong's obviously goal threat, so definitely something to watch out for.
And how will Bradley Johnson be viewing the game today? Of course, you're playing against your old club. You normally want to beat him, don't you? And he is exactly that type of midfielder you just talked about, the box-to-box who wants to get in and score goals. He's almost a complete midfielder. He'll put his foot in, he'll tackle, he'll break things up. He's good range of passing, and he will score goals too.
Yeah, and he's been a massive part for them, this season and last as well. And he's going to be the one to kind of keep them together, and a little bit of battle in there with him and Alex. Alex come back in the team. Congratulations to him. His 250th, and some two old heads in there kind of going at it. So that should be good. But yeah, no, John is massive to that team and gets them ticking.
Simeon, thanks very much, mate. We'll see you again at half time. Thanks for joining us.
Wicked.
We're just talking about that matchup there of Tetty and Bradley Johnson. Yeah. I mean, I've had that in my career when my good friend Andy Johnson moved to Nottingham Forest and I ended up playing against him. And it did feel a bit kind of weird. You must have had that in your career when you played against players you come back and you had sort of good relationships with. Does that change your perspective going into a game?
I don't think if you've got a professional...
Is the tackle the same? Is it even more intense? Do you
maybe.
It was with me. I kind of left a little bit more in just because it was your mate.
But everyone, if you're professional, once you get on that pitch, it is 11v11 and the best team wins, and you've got to do everything you can to win. And like you say, I know what John was. John was like a combative player, wasn't he? I mean, you tackled him.
Yeah, well, I left him trailing in my wake a few times. But
that was a tackle you made, yeah? Okay, good. But like I say, those two will have massive amount of respect for each other.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, in ways that you said about a number 6, sort of like not worrying about scoring. Bradley has got that ability to score goals.
Yeah.
And like you say, and it looks as though he's gone from strength to strength. He's kept a good level of fitness up all the way through his career. And he's produced on a numerous occasions. But like I say, they will both have respect for each other. But once that game starts, once the whistle goes, it's the best team that wins, and you've got to do everything you can to make sure you're that one in the team that you do win. And once it finishes, you go and you give each other. Well, you can't give them a hug.
You hope you do.
You give them a fist bump now.
Yeah, that's it is at the moment. Look, let's go and talk about centre half for Norwich, who did have some pace and who has got some pace.
What are you in centre halves today?
Grant Hanley is our key matchup today. You can see he's matched up here against Adam Armstrong, who for Blackburn is joint top goal scorer of the Championship as well. So this is going to be a real test for him today, isn't it? Because he's not probably had a centre forward play up against him who's been on bang on form as this lad has.
No, but he has massively impressed me, Grant Hanley. I remember 6-7 games ago when you have the Norwich players saying who's the fastest in the squad.
Some would say Grant Hanley.
Some would say Grant Hanley, and we're saying no. This guy has impressed me over the last 2 or 3 games. There's been situations when it's like a 1v1 situation, and you'd say the forward probably was favourite. He had the ball, he's pushed it past him, so Hanley has got a turn. But the way he dealt with it, he's got pace, he's got strength, and he's got nous as well. So, but like you say, this is a different type of forward today. Small, quick, nippy-footed, and whatever. So with a bit of luck, Grant will dominate him and show some authoritiveness early in the game. So Armstrong will have to think about it. But I've been really impressed with the way Grant Hanley's played.
And Grant Hanley's picked up a few injuries since he has been here, but he seems like he's on a good run of form now in terms of his fitness. And that makes all the difference, doesn't it? Particularly for central defenders who sometimes are looked at, can be a little bit cumbersome and difficult to turn. That they need that consistency of games, don't they? Particularly as a partnership. And he's forging that at the moment. He's either in with Gibson or Zimmerman coming in today, and he's the kind of the stalwart.
I think over the last year, you had Zimmerman and you had Closer, and they were probably known as the main two. I mean, he came in, he was sort of like a bit part coming in as and when, had injuries, so he never had a real consistent run. But this season, he is the stalwart of that central pairing. And like you said, whether it's either with Gibson or whether it's been with Zimmerman, I think he's been outstanding. And like I said, when he's been captain, he leads by example as well.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said earlier, Rob, Norwich have got a pretty good history against Blackburn. And this is the last time the two teams met.
On to Steeperman, 2 touches to Buendia. This is a lovely move from Norwich City. Buendia, can he find the pass to Hernandez in the penalty area? Oh no, Hernandez for Norwich City gets the shot in and it's blocked. Blackburn recovered well, but Vrancic keeps it going. Shot from the edge of the penalty area. There's the breakthrough, and what a roar at Carrow Road! It's Marco Steeperman who picks up the bottom corner of the Blackburn net once again from 20 yards. He's been in fine goal-scoring form recently, and that one has got the biggest cheer yet of the season, because on a night that means so much, it's an early advantage for Norwich City, and it's no more than they deserve. Steeperman the scorer, and it's Norwich City 1, Blackburn 0. Steeperman to Jamal Lewis, who's roaring forward again here. Corner of the penalty area. Worked nicely by Steeperman to Hernandez. Can Hernandez get the shot across? Pukki's there! Pukki's there! What's the ball over the line? That was over! No, it wasn't. What a save. That was from the goalkeeper, Ludweiler. It looked as if Pukki was just going to bundle that one into the net. And we were all looking at the referee to see if his watch was buzzing with the technology. It wasn't. Ludweiler has clawed that out.
I think it must be broke.
How close?
How has Timo Pukki missed that as well, Chris? He's literally a yard out.
Vrancic, let's fly! Mario Vrancic looking no road at the moment. 25 yards out. He has hit that one into the top corner of the net. And this big night, this special night, couldn't be going any better for Norwich City. An absolute cracker from Mario Vrancic. He pushes the ball to the left wing. Amari Bell thanks to Cross. Now does get the ball into the Norwich penalty area. McLean blocks. Bell recovers it. Here's Travis from the edge of the penalty area. Shoots for Blackburn, and they've got one back. Norwich City never do it the easy way. On to Vrancic. Vrancic now arcs the ball over to the left-hand side, and he's released Hernandez. Corner of the penalty area. Hernandez breaks into the area now. Oh no, Hernandez! Oh, he hit the bar! Here's Chapman for Blackburn. The ball breaks here. Blackburn attacking again on the right-hand side. Jamal Lewis with a challenge. He wins the ball, but it runs free for Elliot Bennett. Puts it into the penalty area. Zimmerman heads it away. And that's the Premier League for Norwich City!
Yeah, the fantastic dulcet tones of Chris Gorham and Darren Eadie there on commentary. The night when Norwich gained promotion to the Premier League. Not as champions at that time, but confirmed they were getting promoted.
Yeah, it was a great night and a full stadium as well. But like I say, it gives the team hope. I mean, there's a lot of those players playing that day are playing today as well. So fingers crossed it can be the same result.
So in terms of the result today, what are you looking for? We keep talking about away from home, a decent result probably would be a draw. And make sure you keep picking up points. Is that a game?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can come away not losing the game today, I think that'd be a real positive result. But the solidity is required in away games. Norwich have got that now. So they had a blip at Luton, but hopefully they can start. This is the first away game since that. So let's see if they can have that solidity right the way through the team to get a positive result today.
But this feels to me like it's going to be a real physical challenge to Norwich today as well. Blackburn are a tidy side, but also they don't mind putting it about as well. We've seen with Bradley Johnson and the kind of players they've got. You know, for me, this is probably a more difficult away game than Luton would be.
Yeah, absolutely. You mean man for man, Luton and Blackburn? Blackburn are the better team. So it's a tough game today, but it's a different type of game. Blackburn will be confident because they are scoring goals, but so will Norwich. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be an open game.
Yeah, and score prediction from you today, Rob?
I'm going.
I'll put you on the spot, but
I am going for 2-1. Same as Mark Rivers. To Norwich.
Okay, I just wanted to check, mate. You know, I never know with you.
What's your score then? What's your score?
I'm going 2-0 Norwich.
Okay, I
like
like that.
Always confident.
Good.
We'll see you at half time. Enjoy the game.